I started my spiritual journey and the creation of this business around 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember in those early days, that first year and year and a half, I just had so many questions. There are so many different modalities. And for you to have that spiritual awakening, that first realization of, I think there's something more, I want something more, and I want to start exploring my place in my world, in the universe, my connection to a higher power. And what does it mean to connect with my intuition? And what is energy? And how am I showing up? And all these things seem so magical, fantastical. And years later now, I realized one of the things that helped me in the beginning to kind of sort through all my different feelings, understand my values, what I wanted to create in the world was new and full moon journaling. I had a mentor at the time who encouraged me to journal with each new moon and full moon, and she provided me with journal prompts. And it was just a way for me to stay accountable to myself with my goals, what I wanted to create, and starting to deepening the relationship I had with myself and starting seeing the parts of me that needed to change, that needed to heal, and needed to be amplified and nurtured. And for those who aren't familiar with new and full moons, a new moon is a wonderful time to start again, a new beginning, to plant seeds. It is something that you can do and see what comes into fruition with the next full moon. So, let's say there's a new moon in Leo and then there's a full moon in Pisces. So you can see what you manifest in those 2 weeks' time. Or you can kind of stretch it out to 6 months when the next full moon in that sign will be. And I tend to like to operate in that way with a new moon intention. I know that some things will come up during those 2 weeks and honestly through those 6 months, but there'll be kind of like a big, like culminating moment in 6 months' time when the full moon is in the same sign. So, with the new moon, write down what you want to create, what you're dreaming of. It's an opportunity to think bigger, imagine more for yourself, and specifically in the theme of that sign. So, if it's a new moon in Leo, you can set intentions around how you can show up more authentically, feel more empowered, how you can take up more space, be in the limelight, find a platform for yourself to share your ideas. Um, and then to kind of bring it one step further, that makes it more relevant for you is to look at what house Leo is in for you. Looking at your birth chart. And if you don't have your birth chart, you can go to yoursaturn.com to get your free career astrology report that will also tell you if you have a prominent placement in Leo, whether it's sun, moon, rising, or north node. And looking at any planets that have, let's say that are like a Jupiter in Leo, that means you're in luck and blessings will come your way, will be renewed. You can set some intentions around how you generate your own luck, as well as how you can expand and learn in ways that allow you to embody a more authentic version of yourself. So that's one example. And with a full moon, it's a time to celebrate your manifestations. It is a time for release. With full moons, they tend to feel a bit intense the week before. So it's always good to have an eye on when the full moons will be. And in the month of August, we have two. We had one on August 1st, so Tuesday, and we had one in a couple weeks' time. I have to check the exact date, but I believe it's August 30th. And with full moons, it's just a lot of emotions of up and down, especially if you have, again, a prominent placement, sun, moon, rising, or north node. And for this month, if you have a prominent placement in Aquarius and Pisces, you are going to be feeling it. I already know at the end of this month, I'm going to be feeling that full moon in Pisces because my North Node is in Pisces. So if you haven't started journaling, I really invite you to do so. And if you need some accountability, I host monthly sessions at the end or start of each month it's called expansion. These are intention setting sessions that have an energy reset component, reflection about the month before, as well as sharing the astrology for the month ahead to help you set your intentions to journal, know what to journal about for the new moons and the full moons. And then I also can create personalized report for you for the month ahead that has new moon and full moon journal prompts as well. I'd love to know if you've already been journaling with the new and the full moons, how it's been going for you. And if you're completely new to this concept, please let me know your questions and try it out. Consistency is key. And I love to be able to kind of look back on what I've journaled about and kind of see, okay, so 6 months ago with the new moon in Aquarius, I wanted to create this reality. And it really, really works in terms of manifesting, evaluating, looking at what I journaled before, the new intentions that I wanted to set, and then thinking, okay, what have I completed in 6 months? What has really come to pass, in this moment in time with the full moon? And it really works. So I invite you to try this manifestation technique. It is powerful. It just requires you to be consistent and know that I will always share new moon and full moon information with you on Instagram and on my newsletter. You will automatically be enrolled in the newsletter when you get your free career astrology report on yoursaturn.com. All right, until next time, I hope you have a great day, evening, morning, whenever you're listening to this podcast episode.